the Chi-Town experience on the flight. Let me go tune in to KIEQ on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the like.
A top analyst urges the Chicago Bears to take a closer look at this top prospect in round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of KIEQ on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, before I go any further with today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is BetUS. As always, Bears fans, make sure you guys head over to betus.com and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000, and also get 125% second and third deposits as well. Currently, BetUS already has some props up for who Trey Smith's next team will be if the Kansas City Chiefs allow him to hit free agency. And currently, the Chicago Bears are the favorites at -270 to land Trey Smith. I know it's going to make a lot of Chicago Bears fans happy. So if you believe that Trey Smith will be a Chicago Bear when free agency opens up in March, you guys can actually go place your bets right now at BetUS. So, Bears fans, we have a loaded podcast on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. Not only are we going to talk about what this top analyst had to say about the Chicago Bears and who he feels like they should target in round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft, we are also going to do our very first full 7-round Chicago Bears mock draft with trades on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. So Bears fans, do me a huge favor by hitting the like button as well to really catch all Bears content right here on KIEQ on the Mic. So Bears fans, we all know that upgrading the offensive line is priority number 1 for the Chicago Bears this offseason. The Chicago Bears, meaning Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson, will likely replace or upgrade 3 spots on the O-line from last season. And Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune already basically reported, basically saying that the Bears would focus more on the interior of the offensive line, replacing Tevin Jenkins, Coleman Shelton, and obviously Nate Davis. But a lot of Bears fans, including myself, have also been conversating about the Chicago Bears maybe opting to go offensive tackle as well. And they can go in many different directions. But there's also a lot of Bears fans out there, including myself, are wondering, like, even though the Chicago Bears need an offensive lineman, will they go that route in round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft? Both Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles know that Caleb Williams' safety is priority number 1 going into next season. We do not want to see another season with Caleb Williams getting sacked 68 times. Ben Johnson knows the offensive line is key to Caleb Williams' success, and Ryan Poles understands that as well. So going in to the 2025 NFL Draft for the Chicago Bears, it seems that the vision is very clear. Build the trenches. And once again, the Chicago Bears can go in many different directions. When you look at some of the options that the Chicago Bears actually have, they have Will Campbell out of LSU, Kelvin Banks out of Texas. They also have Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State. So they will have their fair pick of the litter to really bolster this offensive line. Even though a lot of people say Will Campbell and Kelvin Banks will be better at guard, those are still 2 offensive linemen that can bolster this unit here in Chicago. But Brandon Thorne of Bleacher Report, who is widely viewed as an O-line expert, dug deep into the top names in this year's draft class, and he was able to pinpoint who the best option for the Bears would be in round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft. And that name was actually Josh Simmons, the tackle out of Ohio State. Once again, Thorne is widely considered as a offensive line guru. This is all he does, Bears fans. He looks at the analytics. He looks at every single pass rep. He looks at every single run rep, and he really breaks down on who the best of the best in terms of offensive linemen are in draft classes, right? And he did the same thing this year for the 2025 NFL Draft. Thorne listed Josh Simmons as not only the best pass blocker, but also the most versatile tackle in this year's draft class. And when you look at Josh Simmons, I've heard Bears fans talk about him before. He is a very intriguing option for the Chicago Bears. He is 6'5", 310 pounds. He did suffer a season-ending knee injury on October 12th versus Oregon, but his agent already said that he will be ready to go prior to the start of training camp when he does get drafted in the 2025 NFL draft. But prior to that, he was having a dominant season for the Ohio State Buckeyes and is still regarded as one of the best tackles in this year's draft. People actually compare him to Christian Darrisaw of the Minnesota Vikings. And if you actually watch football, you understand how good Christian Darrisaw has been for the Minnesota Vikings. Simmons has ideal size for an NFL tackle, exceptional arm length. So, obviously that's a big concern for Will Campbell about how Will Campbell is good tackle in college, but he doesn't have a lot of arm length, so he's going to be pushed into that guard spot. You won't have that problem with Josh Simmons. He has exceptional arm length. He's powerful upper body strength. He has the ability to drive defenders off the line of scrimmage. He has a very explosive first step. He's battle tested against top competition. He also has the versatility to not only play both left tackle and right tackle as well. So let's say if Darnell Wright goes down, they really need him to shift over to that right tackle spot. He would be able to do just that. And he is a devastating second level blocker, which would be huge for Ben Johnson's offense. Of course, you want an athletic lineman that can get to the second level and absolutely dominate at second level blocking. Simmons has a lot of upside and could be an intriguing option for the Bears in round 1. And this all depends on how Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles view their left tackle options. Right now, you have Braxton Jones and a Karan Amagaji, right? So you have those two options to really compete for the left tackle spot, and they can really focus on the interior of the offensive line. But then you also have to consider, are they willing to stay at 10 and draft a guy like Josh Simmons? Once again, he's coming off a season-ending injury. He will be ready prior to training camp, but would the Bears opt to maybe trade down and get some extra draft capital and then take a guy like Josh Simmons? How do they want to handle the offensive line this season? If they get Trey Smith and Drew Dahlman for their interior, maybe they will be more intrigued to take a left tackle in round 1. It just all depends on how Ben Johnson views Braxton Jones, which I would be fine with Braxton Jones for one more year and see how he does under Ben Johnson. But I know there's a lot of Bears fans, and I've been having these conversations as well, that are really intrigued by taking a left tackle in this year's draft, especially in round 1. And Josh Simmons would definitely be an intriguing option for the Chicago Bears. So Bears fans, as promised, let's go ahead and do a full 7-round Chicago Bears mock draft with trades. I just had one of my listeners ask me, say, hey, KIEQ, when are you going to do your first 7-round Chicago Bears mock draft? And you know what? I am a people pleaser, so I'm going to go ahead and do that today on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. So here we go. As I'm going through this 7-round Chicago Bears mock draft, make sure you guys are interacting with me down below in the comment section. The Chicago Bears current picks, they have 7 total picks right now. Round 1, pick 10. Round 2, pick number 39. Round 2, pick 41. Round 3, 72. Round 5, pick 148. Round 6, 197. And round 7, pick 235. So obviously a whole lot of draft capital to really fix some key areas of need. So let's go ahead and start this draft out with a trade. Yes, I am not going to stay at pick number 10. I'm actually going to trade down. The Chicago Bears trade with the Indianapolis Colts, and the Bears will get round 1, pick number 14, and a second round pick number 45, and they send the Indianapolis Colts their 10th overall pick. So we trade down a couple of spots, and the Chicago Bears instantly upgrade the trenches by picking tackle Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. After listening to Brandon Thorne of Bleacher Report, he really sold me on Josh Simmons, really broke down his tape as well prior to his injury. And this dude is an absolute stud. I understand we have Braxton Jones, but I still feel like we can upgrade that position. And me picking Josh Simmons is basically me saying that I am very confident the Chicago Bears are going to be able to land Trey Smith and Drew Dahlman to really upgrade their interior offensive line, and then you upgrade the left tackle spot with Josh Simmons. Once again, he would be an amazing presence on the Chicago Bears offensive line. He was absolutely dominating at Ohio State prior to a season-ending knee injury. To me, the sky is the limit. High upside player for Ben Johnson's offense, exceptional arm length. He still has a long way to go in terms of maybe technical refinement, but not that much more improvement. But obviously he has high ceiling, and he's going to continue to get better every single year. I definitely think this would be a huge bolster to the Chicago Bears offensive line, and hopefully able to protect Caleb Williams at a different level going into next season. Moving on, I have another trade for the Chicago Bears. The Bears are now trading with the Los Angeles Rams, and the Chicago Bears get round 1, pick 26. So moving back up to the first round, round 3, pick 90, and round 3, pick 100. And we send the Los Angeles Rams both of our second round picks, pick number 39 and 41. And I know a lot of Chicago Bears fans saying, hey, KIEQ, what the hell are you doing trading away our second round picks? Remember when I traded down with the Indianapolis Colts, I also got their second round pick, pick number 45. So we will still have a second round pick. So trading up back into the first round, I have the Chicago Bears building their defensive line now, continuing to build the trenches, because everyone knows that the Chicago Bears desperately need to build the trenches by selecting defensive lineman Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. He stands at 6'3", 305 pounds, and you guys have seen me pick Walter Nolan in my shorter 3-round Chicago Bears mock drafts. This dude is an absolute stud. For the longest time, I thought this guy would possibly drop to the second round. I don't think there is any chance in hell that Walter Nolan drops to round 2 for the Chicago Bears. This guy is going to be a day 1 impact starter, especially against the run. He was dominant at Ole Miss against the run. He still has high upside as a pass rusher as well. This guy can be a true 3 technique in the Chicago Bears 4-3 scheme. And the real reason why the Chicago Bears need to invest in the defensive line, when Andrew Billings went down, it was a huge loss for the Chicago Bears, and they really had no one to step up, not only as a pass rusher on that interior of the defensive line, but really to stop the run as well. Walter Nolan gives you both. He's also a freakish athlete as well. He runs a 4.95 40-yard dash. The dude is an absolute freak athlete. He would be a major presence along with Andrew Billings and Javon Dexter to really take this defensive line to the next level. When you also have a guy like Walter Nolan, Bears fans, he will also command the double teams as well, and that will open up pass rushing lanes for guys like Javon Dexter, Montez Sweat, and obviously if you also invest in another edge rusher as well, this guy will benefit everyone around him. He will make everyone around him better as well. This will be a huge move for Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles to trade up back into round 1 and get a huge piece to the puzzle in Walter Nolan. Now moving on to round 2, pick number 45. And this is the second round pick that I received by trading back with the first pick that we had with the Indianapolis Colts. I have the Chicago Bears taking linebacker Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. 6'3", 244 pounds. And I know a lot of Bears fans may say, hey, KIEQ, why are we taking a linebacker here, right? Don't we need an edge rusher? Maybe we need another guard. Maybe we need, even a wide receiver here or a running back. Bears fans, at this point in round 2, Jahad Campbell would be the best player available in the 2025 NFL draft. He's a sideline-to-sideline linebacker with elite straight line speed. He's also flexible. He's able to play Sam, Will, or you can even line him up as an edge rusher as well. I think Dennis Allen would have a really fun time with Campbell and how he can use him to attack opposing offenses in the National Football League. He's a great tackler in space. He's also a natural leader. When you turn on the tape, always encouraging his teammates, high character guy. And I know that's really big for Ben Johnson and Ryan Poles. You're trying to create a new culture here in Chicago, and adding guys like Campbell could do just that for the Chicago Bears football team. He's also an immediate impact player on special teams as well. I see this guy as a future star in the National Football League, and I would definitely love him on the Chicago Bears defense. And once again, different ways that Dennis Allen can really use him, almost like a Swiss Army knife on the defense side of the football, would be huge, a huge advantage for Dennis Allen and the Chicago Bears defense. Now moving on to round 3, pick number 72. I have the Chicago Bears continuing to build the trenches and tackle Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia. Stands at 6'6", 312 pounds. I really like Millum out of West Virginia. He's an elite pass protector with great technique. He's a versatile lineman. He's willing to learn center, which will up his draft value for the 2025 NFL draft. I feel like there's going to be a lot of teams interested in a guy like this, so you can move him along the offensive line. I don't expect him to play tackle in the National Football League. I picked him with hopes to hopefully have him play center or guard, because of course we need to build the interior of the offensive line as well. He's exceptional durability as well. That was a huge thing for me when I'm picking offensive linemen or picking up offensive linemen in the offseason for the Chicago Bears. They have to remain on the field. That has been a struggle for the Chicago Bears offensive line for the last couple of years. Tevin Jenkins, Nate Davis, Braxton Jones are unable to stay healthy. We need guys that are durable, and that's exactly what Wyatt Millam is. He's a strong run blocker, high IQ, excellent athlete, and high character player as well. Once again, you guys see this trend that I continue to pick high character guys, because once again, we are trying to build a new culture here in Chicago, and you need to make sure you have natural leaders, high character guys that are going to add to the locker room and benefit the Chicago Bears organization. This move is also to help protect Caleb Williams. We need to build a strong wall here in Chicago to keep Caleb Williams upright, and that's exactly what Wyatt Millam would do. Once again, high upside guy, and the development is still there for him. He still has a ceiling to reach, but once again, we did hire Dan Rashar as a new offensive line coach here in Chicago. So I have a lot of trust in him that he's going to be able to develop these guys, not only guys like Wyatt Millam, but also Josh Simmons as well, and take their game to the next level. So now moving on, I have another trade. I have the Chicago Bears trading back up into the third round, or trading up from their pick number 90 spot in round 3 to pick number 73 in round 3 with the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Raiders get pick number 90 in round 3 and also a 2026 third round pick. And in round 3, pick number 73 out of the Chicago Bears, taking running back TreVeyon Henderson out of Ohio State. Once again, he has been in a lot of my mock drafts as well. This guy is going to be a dynamic playmaker. He can run the football. He has that long speed to break away. He can be beneficial in the passing game as well. He's also a willing blocker, which a lot of people don't talk about. He would be huge in Ben Johnson's offense. Give Caleb Williams yet another weapon. He is that workhorse type of back that the Chicago Bears could add to DeAndre Swift. I don't think they're going to get rid of DeAndre Swift, but I definitely think they can add to DeAndre Swift, and TreVeyon Henderson definitely would be a huge add for Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams in the Chicago Bears offense. My only concern here, Bears fans, is that I'm not sure if TreVeyon Henderson is going to make it to round 3. A lot of people have a first round grade on TreVeyon Henderson, but if he does happen to make it to round 3, this will be a home run pick for Ryan Poles, Ben Johnson, and the Chicago Bears. Now moving on to my next round 3 pick number 100. I have the Chicago Bears actually addressing the safety position with Andrew Mukuba out of Texas. This guy is ultra athletic. He has blazing speed. He's going to be running a 4.3 40-yard dash. He stands at 6 foot, 190 pounds. Once again, blazing speed, athleticism. He's versatile. He plays safety, corner, nickel corner. You can put him anywhere you want on the field. So once again, just like Jahad Campbell, Dennis Allen would have a lot of fun moving Andrew Mukuba around on this defense. He's a high IQ player, exceptional ball skills, strong cover skills as well. And once again, he is a durable player. Once again, the best thing for the Chicago Bears is to find guys that can stay on the football field. The reason why I'm investing in safety here, Bears fans, in round 3 for the Chicago Bears is because of the durability of guys like Jaquan Brisker. Absolutely love Jaquan Brisker, but he has a tendency to get hurt quite a bit. So if you bring in an option like Andrew Mukuba, the guy that has played against some of the top competition while at Texas, he is battle tested, a guy that can stay on the field, he would start off as a high-level backup behind Jaquan Brisker. You could bring him in on situational downs, maybe as a, pass rusher as well. You know that Dennis Allen likes to send, corner blitzes as well, so he can use them in many different ways. But this move also has a lot to do with the ability that Jaquan Brisker just doesn't stay on the field, and he has to prove a lot this year. And this is also a contract year for Jaquan Brisker. If he's unable to stay healthy, at least you invested in another safety in the NFL draft. So that was one of the big reasons why I ended up going with the safety here in round 3 for the Chicago Bears. So now moving on to round 5, pick number 148 out of the Chicago Bears, addressing the defensive line once again, now picking edge rusher Tyler Barron out of Miami. He stands at 6'5", 260 pounds. Once again, another high upside player for Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson, who could be an immediate threat as a situational edge rusher. He has a very explosive first step, plus good length as well, that I feel like Dennis Allen will love on the Chicago Bears defense. He's very versatile as well. This guy can thrive in a 3-4, but I think he's going to be really good in the 4-3 front as well. I do believe that he still has some development to go through, but I think he's going to start off as a really good situational edge rusher with Montez Sweat. I think he would be a really, really good addition to the Chicago Bears defense. Now moving on to round 6, pick 197. I have the Chicago Bears taking a wide receiver, another weapon for Caleb Williams, and wide receiver Keandre Lambert-Smith out of Auburn. 6'1", 182 pounds. This is a rising wide receiver prospect in the 2025 NFL draft. His excellent performance at the East-West Shrine Bowl definitely got him more notice, but he was also a stud at Auburn as well. He has lean frame, long arms, and he has the vertical ability to make plays. He made big play after big play at Auburn. He was one of the go-to guys over there. He has good strength and strong at the catch point as well. He's also explosive with elite change in direction. I always thought that at some point, rather it was free agency or an NFL draft, that Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson would add at least one more receiver. I am not sure what they're going to do with Keenan Allen if they're going to re-sign him. But I think it's going to be smart for the Chicago Bears to add at least one or two more receivers to the fold. Currently, you have Roma Dunze that's hopefully going to take that next step, and I have high expectations that he will take that next step. Of course, you still have DJ Moore, and you know what he can do. I think Tyler Scott will get a better look this year as well. But then maybe if you sign Keenan Allen, if you don't, then you're going to need to invest a little bit more in this receiver room for at least maybe one or two more guys. So Caleb Williams has enough weapons to throw to. And I think Keandre Lambert-Smith would be a good value pick in round 6 for the Chicago Bears. Now moving on to my final pick in the Chicago Bears 7-round mock draft. Round 7, pick 235. I have the Chicago Bears completing the NFL draft by taking another guard in Clay Webb out of Jacksonville State. He stands at 6'3", 310 pounds. Once again, just a high ceiling player, exceptional in pass protection and run blocking, showcases great technique and versatility. He's intelligent and mobile, excels at second level blocking as well, could develop into a reliable starter. Once again, I'm picking this guy with hopes that Dan Rochar can get the most out of this guy, and maybe long-term, he can be a valuable asset to this offensive line. You never know what you're going to get in these later rounds, in round 6, 7, even around 5 at times. It's up to the coaching staff to develop these guys and turn them into stars. I have a lot of faith in Dan Rochar as the Bears offensive line coach. I have a lot of faith in all the coaches that Ben Johnson has put together to be able to develop these guys and turn them into quality stars here with the Chicago Bears. But I think in round 7, this would be a really good pick. I'm just a developmental guy. I'm a guy that they can work with and hopefully get him to the next level in round 7. So Bears fans, here is the results for my full Chicago Bears 7-round mock draft. In round 1, pick 14, I had the Bears taking tackle Josh Simmons. Round 1, pick 26, defensive lineman Walter Nolan. Round 2, pick 45, linebacker Jahad Campbell. Round 3, pick 72, tackle Wyatt Millum. Round 3, pick 73, running back Travion Henderson. Round 3, pick 100, safety Andrew Makuba. Round 5, pick 148, edge rusher Tyler Barron. Round 6, pick 197, wide receiver Keandre Lambert-Smith. And round 7, pick 235, guard Clay Webb. So as always, Bears fans, I hope you enjoyed today's video, my full Chicago Bears 7-round mock draft, the first one of the season. So go ahead and grade my 7-round mock draft by a grade of A to F. I feel like I built a wall, not only on the offensive line, but the defensive line as well. Added some intriguing defensive players as well, and added at least one more wide receiver for Caleb Williams to throw to. I would grade myself at least a B or B plus on today's Chicago Bears full 7-round mock draft. I am pleased with the results of today's mock draft right here on KIEQ on the mic. But as always, Bears fans, make sure you guys continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of KIEQ on the mic mic with every single Bears fan that you know. And Bears fans, once again, make sure you guys head over to betus.com and use promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus up to $2,000, and also get 125% second and third deposits as well. But other than that, I'll be back for an all new Bears podcast right here on KIEQ on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic.